Hi guys, thanks very much for joining me. We're just going to look at some home study skills with isolation and us all having to learn a new way of learning. Some of us are having to learn new skills, and one of those is remembering deadlines, getting our working on time and making sure that we're hitting the deadlines that our teachers are setting for us. Now then, there are a number of challenges we're facing with home study. We've got that lack of structure. We don't have the bell ringing to remind us when to go to different lessons, and we don't have a normal school timetable because other things might be happening around us at the same time. We can get easily distracted. We're not going to be in a classroom, we're not going to be sat with that structure that the classroom brings, and instead we may be sat in our bedroom with all the things that distract us during the day. Maybe that's a games console, a television, or our phone. And we don't have the teachers and the other support staff around us to help us. We might have our parents there, we might have other people that we live with, but they could be doing other things as well. So we've really got to try and be a lot more independent in our work when we are home studying. And that's a challenge for us to look at. So we're going to look at hitting deadlines. Now, first of all, that's going to stop the work building up. So when you get a deadline, and if you can get the work done then, you know it's out of the way, you know it's done, and it stops you suddenly having 4 or 5 pieces of work to do at once, and that can be really tricky sometimes. It allows you to plan your free time as well. It's really important that whilst you're at home, you still get time for yourself, be that going on a games console, chatting to your friends on the phone, watching television. You always need to have some free time for yourself. And it also gives your teachers time to look at your work. So if you get your work in on the deadline that the teachers set, they've planned for it arriving then. It means they can look at it and often give you feedback and advice as to how you can improve your work. And we can also celebrate that great work that you guys are sending in. So let's have a look at a little tip. How can we help to hit those deadlines? And we need to create a little timetable, and the way to do that is a simple A4 piece of paper, and then we're just going to draw it out as I've shown you in front of you now. So we've got a little line at the top that's going to say week commencing, and then we're going to have the work due and for each day of the week. So we're only going to do 5 days of the week because it's really important at the moment that we try and take the weekends for ourselves. Now, when we're filling this out, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to write down the date of the Monday for that week. So for example, Monday the 18th of May, and we're going to write that down as our week commencing, so we know what week we're looking at. And then as we go along, we're going to write down an assignment as it arrives. So if a member of staff gives us an assignment to do, and maybe it's on the Tuesday or the Wednesday of that week, we write it onto the table. Now it's really important that this table that we're completing is visible, so we're going to need to stick it on a wall. We're going to need to keep it on our desk. It's no good completing it and then hiding it away under the bed or putting it in a drawer. So we need to make sure this is visible. Another good tip is to show it to someone else in the house where you live as well. Show it to your parents, show it to someone else, so that they can help you just keep a check on it and remind you that you've got a deadline coming up soon. So let's have a look at an example. I've put a quick example now in front of you, and we can see it says Monday the 18th of May for the week commencing, and this person started filling out some of the assignments they've got due that week. So we can see they've got maths and English on Monday, French on Tuesday, history, art and science on Wednesday, music on Thursday, and geography on Friday. Now we've got a problem here that I can see already coming up, and this is going to be Wednesday. This student's going to be really busy on Wednesday, and as you can see with the picture of the person I've put there, they're almost complaining, saying, hey, I've got so much to do on Wednesday, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? Well, this is where the timetable's really going to help us, because on Tuesday we can see we've only got French to do. So with a little bit of planning, a little bit of looking ahead, we can maybe do some of that work that's needed on Wednesday on Tuesday, and it stops that backlog. It stops us having to worry about the work, about worrying about the deadlines, because we've planned ahead a little bit. So that's how this timetable is going to help us. Now, you may be doing a GCSE, or you may just have even more work that you need to be considering, and that can often mean that you've got to run 2 timetables. So have one for your current week. Where are you now? What do you need to do now? And then what's happening the next week, the coming week, and have 2, so you know that if you look ahead, You can recognize when you've got those really busy periods coming, you can plan for them and make sure that you've got that work in. And then as we move forward in the calendar, next week becomes the current week and you create another one. And that's how we're going to prioritize. So, hitting deadlines. It's going to stop the work building up. It's going to allow you to plan your free time, and it's going to give your teachers time to look at your work and support you better. Hopefully that helps you plan your routine a little bit more. Hopefully that's going to help you give a little bit structure to your day and to work that you're completing. Don't forget though, if you've got any problems, if you've got any concerns, don't let them dwell. Have a word with a member of staff, send a message to your teacher, send a message to your form tutor. It's really important you do not feel like you cannot cope with this work. We want to be able to support you. Thanks very much.